Okay, so for this question, the exam consists of 3 papers, right? So this kind of question basically is to understand a contextual question and try to put the context into, algebraic expressions. And okay, so the total minimum score, the total score for all 3 papers, right? So you're talking about paper 1 plus paper 2 plus paper 3. You add the total score together, it must give you 10P plus 5Q. So Vani scores P minus 3Q plus 13 marks and 3P plus 5Q minus 4 marks in the first 2 papers. I want to find the total score for the first 2 papers, right? So what's the total score for first 2 papers? Now it's very easy. We just add the first paper marks for the first one and marks for the second one together. So basically for part 1, right, we just add the mark for the first paper with the mark for the second paper. I mean, adding is quite straightforward. It's not too difficult. Remove the bracket. So this is P minus 3Q plus 13. Now plus and plus, no issue. I mean, for plus is quite straightforward. After that, we combine the like terms together. So here you can see P, 3P, that gives us a 4P. Negative 3Q, 5Q, negative 3 plus 5, that gives us a 2Q. 13 minus 4, that gives us a 9. All right, so our answer is just 4P plus 2Q plus 9. And remember to put the bracket is marked. So do remember that if your question has a context, you should put the unit. Otherwise, you may be deducted for, P unit now, presentation unit. Okay, can So given that Vani obtained the minimum total score to pass the exam, what does this mean? It means that this is the score for the first 2 exams. And by the 3rd exam, she was able to score enough marks for her to qualify to get at least 10P plus Q. So how do we know the score in the 3rd paper? It's basically, right, the difference is 10P plus Q. If the total score is 10P plus Q for all 3 exams, I minus off the score in the first 2 exams, right? That's going to give me the score in the 3rd exam, right? So if I take basically 10P plus 5Q, which is the total score, right? This is the total score for all 3 exams. This is the total for all 3 papers, right? And I subtract this away from the answer in part 2, which is 4P plus 2Q plus 9. This is basically the total for first 2 papers, right? And you can see that very easily. This will get you the answer that you want. That's the score for the 3rd paper. This is basically the score for the 3rd paper. Okay, yeah. So just work this out. Let me write it out. 10P plus 5Q. Okay, so this is a minus, so we got to be careful. Minus, okay, I treat it as a minus 4P minus to positive 2Q, that's a minus 2Q, negative 9, that's a minus 9. Okay, and with that, I think slowly one by one, 10P, 4P, that gives me a 6P. Positive 5Q minus 2Q, that gives me a positive 3Q, 5 minus 2. 9 is by itself, so negative 9. And that's the answer, 6P plus 3Q minus 9 marks. That's the number of marks you score for the 3rd paper. Okay, thank you.